What's up, everybody? Coming back to Skyrim for a different build, if you want to call it that. I don't really know what to call it. It's a concept that I did a long time ago as like a short video, but I don't think anybody believed that I actually did it. So we're doing it now. We're doing it live. This is the Unlikely Dragonborn build, and the concept is, well, let's name him, and I can tell you while we watch bullshit. We're gonna call him Unlikely. Oh god. Okay, so the concept is that this character isn't some like rad warrior or rogue or secret magician or any of that crap. Instead, he's just some schlub that had nothing to do with anything, and he just accidentally so happens to be the Dragonborn, and he has to cope with that. So he can't use any skills at all. Anything that would level up, he's not allowed to use. There's only one exception to that rule that we're going to do. One time that I have to use a single skill in order to complete a quest. And it's not enough to make me level 2. It's just one level up skill in the smithing skill. Otherwise, he's not allowed to sneak or speech check or pickpocket or lockpick. He's not allowed to cast any spells. He's not allowed to wear armor, because that would level up his armor skill. He's not allowed to wield a weapon, because that would level up his weapon skill. He can't carry a shield, because it would level up his armor and his blocking skill. And he can't buy or sell anything, because that would level up his speech skill. So, yeah, it's a pretty difficult thing to do, but anything else beyond that is fair game, right? So, you know, as we do the different things that he's allowed to do, then you'll understand like how this build can be made to be pretty easy to complete the game with. But right now I think I'm set to super easy mode. We're gonna actually set it to apprentice. Adept is normal mode. The only difference really that's going to take place between Apprentice and Adept is that Apprentice will make the game go a little bit faster. I'm not just going to be, you know, soaking damage and whacking away at a guy for so long that it takes up too much of your time. But it's still difficult on Apprentice, because a lot of the characters will always be scaled to level 1. A lot of the, you know, bandits, dragons, all of that stuff, they're always going to be scaled to a pretty easy scale, especially with Khajiit. But there are some guys that are always going to be difficult. Dragon priests come to mind. They're always going to be super fucking hard. So we have to use a few tricks in order to defeat a dragon priest, or a harder level dragon, or, you know, some heavy boss that's part of a DLC or whatever. And there's some stuff that I just don't think you can do based on that you're supposed to, like, for instance, in the Mage's College, there's a part where you have to cast a spell at a wall while wearing an amulet. It's like the very beginning. After that, you don't have to use magic of your own volition, except for where you use a staff, and a staff actually levels up your destruction skill too. So the Mage's College is something that we want to avoid doing, but we can't avoid it entirely, because one of the things that we really want this character to have is the Forsaken Amulet, and I think you have to do the first quest of the Mage's College to get it. At least to start it. So there are a few mods installed. It's nothing that would screw around with like the mechanics of the game. So if you're playing vanilla Skyrim, and I always try to do this because I don't think you should have to install a laundry list of mods just to complete a build. If you were going to do that, you'd do it yourself. But there are things like one of the mods makes it so that the artificial intelligence of your companions is a little bit better. For instance, if you're using an archer, he'll try his best to be an archer. He's not, if you're using Feindal and a bandit runs up on him, he's not going to get his iron dagger out and try to fight him with his iron dagger. He's going to move away from the melee combat usually retiring to your, your defenses, and then after that, you'll be fine. He'll shoot his arrow. So there's that. And it also makes it so that townspeople, if they're attacked by a dragon, won't pull their daggers out and then stare at the sky while they get burned alive. Instead, they'll run for cover, which is nice because there's not a lot I can do against a dragon in the sky. We don't need any of that shit. So the reason that we're Khajiit is because of this. He's got his pointy claws, right? The claws do 12 damage on top of the 3 damage of a normal unarmed attack. So it's 15 damage per hit. And the attack is about as fast as a dagger strike. So it's at level 1, it's the equivalent of carrying around a two-handed iron sword and swinging it as fast as a dagger. And as long as we stay at level 1, it's a pretty formidable weapon. But it's not formidable enough for the fact that I'm not allowed to wear armor. So take for this guy, for instance. Pretty dead. This guy was a 1-hit. Or maybe a 2-hit. I think the way that the kill... let's see, we don't need any of that shit. We can grab the key off of her. And actually, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take all of that stuff. Fuck it, let's even take the sword as well. Not for me, and obviously not to sell, but in order to give to my first companion, which will probably be Sven. So, some other things that we can do here. We can have the companion. You can gather food and cook it into delicious food items, which will be like your minor potions. You can gather up potions from the dead, or looting it from wherever, and drink them, but you can't sell them. So, all right, nice. So even an apprentice, I mean, adept, it would be okay to knock these dudes out with, but even at apprentice mode, there's going to be some stuff that's pretty difficult. We don't particularly need stamina shit, and we can't use it. We can't eat straight alchemy ingredients, because if we did that, then we would be leveling up our alchemy skill, and we don't want to do that. So, we're just gathering up foodstuffs for the most part, and salt piles, and meat, and then we can cook it into some stuff. And instead of it giving us 3 points of health for the same amount of weight that it takes up, it will give us 10 points of health or whatever. And since we're always going to have 100 health, or most of the time we'll have 100 health. There we go. Yeah, we want to do the body slam to that dude. He's a dick. I wish you could take his hood. His hood is the Thieves Guild hood. I mean, right? It's the Thieves Guild hood. He's just... I can't even move him. Oops. Yeah, I'm still a little bit in Fallout mode, so my button control is a little bit googy. But that's sufficient there. We can't... We best not read books. Dickhead gave me some lockpicks. We don't need any of those. I guess I could back up so you could see my catty face. We can gather gold. That's always good. The reason that we can gather gold, or the reason we want to gather gold, is because we can still buy a house, like, say, Breeze Home. Oops. But there's absolutely no reason to take any alchemy ingredients, except for salt piles, because you use those. So, yeah, you use those to cook meat and soup and all that shit. The only ingredients that you need in like almost every recipe is salt and butter. So I guess that reflects real life to a degree. Yeah, you can seriously lay dudes out, especially, I mean, I say early game, but what I mean is all game, because these guys are never going to get stronger. They're always going to be this weak all the time. So that's nice. Ooh. Oh shit. It's funny too, because that kill move for an unarmed attack isn't different for a cat. It totally should be, based on the amount of damage that he's supposedly doing with his claws. So, you know, he should like do a throat ripping something or other. But he doesn't. He just punches dudes in the face like everybody else. I've never seen a cat like punch, so it doesn't quite make sense to me, but you know, what do I know? And they did make him kind of meaty. I kind of wanted him to look a little bit like the kitten in the thumbnail, but you can't really make them look like cute and white and tan. They always have this like weird kind of like black spotted thing going on, no matter what color you make them. Oh yeah, one shot in these dudes. There's one more. Where is he? Oh, he's right there. Well, any fucking time, sweetheart. Oh, yeah. Oh, you can't punch in midair. Yeah. Cat power. Like that band. Yeah, there might have been a gold coin up there in the wrapped up mummy dude, but it's not crucial. It's not like we can do a whole ton of anything and breeze home. It's not like you can sleep and get like the well-rested perk or anything, so it's all good to me, man. And I don't even really know why I'm gathering up the wine, per se. I mean, you can give it to the like bums, and they'll be like, hey, thanks for the drink. Yeah, watch me take this bear out. Yeah, that's two shot in the bear. So yeah, and another thing that's kind of fun about this build is that doesn't matter what you wear, as long as it's not armor. As long as it has no armor, like AC or what, you know, however the fuck you want to put it. As long as it has no armor, you can wear it, and it will be just as effective as anything else. The only pre-enchanted clothing is stuff like Necromancer's robes or novice robes of blah blah blah. So it would entail in like a bonus to something that we're never going to use, like spells, right? So not important at all. And actually, a lot of this early stuff is mostly just a means to an end. Like, we're gonna do the dragon shit kind of first. So you know, if you've obviously if you've never played Skyrim before, you wouldn't start by watching a build where the guy doesn't build the character but just lets him stay level 1 forever. But you know, it can be helpful to know, like, you know, what do I really need for this game? Like, do I need to have a heavy armor class? Do I need to be a fucking warrior? No, all you need to do is not grind levels into shit. And that can be very tempting not to do, because, like, you know, if you're playing as a guy who for instance wants to have like the highest armor in the game, so he's got like, you know, Stalry mail, and then he also wants to use like dragon flesh or whatever, then he's going to you know, he's gonna grind his alteration skill, but that's not really helpful. Where the fuck are the wolves? I could swear to Jesus Christ and all of his holy saints that there's a fucking pack of wolves up here. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, when you grind your alteration skill up by 20 points, what inevitably happens is you're now facing guys that are 5 levels harder than they were before. And so the game remains as difficult as it had been back when you were just casting stone flesh or ebony flesh or whatever. See this guy, we can give him a drink. Yeah, you can want some mead? Here's some Blackbriar mead. You can't beat that, motherfucker. So here's Sven. I'll ask him about Feindal. This is like the only time I would ever take Sven over Feindal, because with Feindal you can use him to like train you in archery. Otherwise, you know, he actually has like some modicum of skill. So we're just gonna throw Feindal under the bus instead. He gets plenty of play. We don't need to actually take that quest from Dipshit. We can just go up and do it. So let's see, where did Sven go? He was standing right here. He's probably hauling a fucking armful of logs. And I'm not sure. Here's Hildy. That's weird. Usually she's standing over on the edge doing the goddamn thing. Okay, there's Sven. So we'll take that, and then we'll say, follow me. He's going to be carrying his logs. Ugh, this is the worst, by the way. When you want to talk to them, but they're too busy, like, sitting on their ass and not thinking about shit to really talk to you back. You don't need this stuff. Okay, so we want to give him that sword that we took and all this armor. So now he's all kitted out. You can even have that shit. And also, why don't we give him the lockpicks as well? Because you can actually have some dudes pick locks. I don't remember if this motherfucker can pick locks, but you can have him do that. So let's take her key. Okay, all the food we'll take. The lockpick we'll give to homeboy. The potion is good. We don't need the ring though. We have to take this quest from Girder, as opposed to the Golden Claw quest. And the reason for that is we can't get into Whiterun without using a speech check unless we do that. We take the quest. So now we can go to the guard and say, oh, the Riverwood requires your aid, la la la, and they'll be like, oh shit, for real, for seriouslys? And then you can get into the town like that. Otherwise, you're looking at speech checking, and that will instantly give you a speech level, by the way. Oh god, why is that stealing? Lord. Okay, well, we're just going around gathering up food and stuff, and I'm just gonna make some delightful treats. I wonder why that's stealing, though. We're gonna ransack these dudes' house who have given me their key for the few things that are in it that I think would be helpful. Really, none of that shit is particularly useful, but all of the meat is good for cats. You know? Oh, I know there's one left. There always is. We don't necessarily need the wine, but we could actually give the wine to our companion. Let's take the bread. One of the things I want to do is find some rad clothes for me to wear. So far, I got nothing. Because the prisoner rags are pretty ghetto. I mean, we gotta be classier than that. So he's got some boots. That's a nice touch. That's not for me, though. Alright, so that's all the shit from in here that we can take. Let's go over to... Yeah, let's go over to Hod and Girder's house. That's Fandal's house. Yay, what's up, Stump? And we'll ransack their joint, too. And that also runs the risk of Ralof saying, you know, blah 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 to free Skyrim, and then all of a sudden you have an extra quest and you have to fucking worry about that. So, you know, that's the price we pay. Oh, I don't need the garlic. Or the chicken eggs. But some meat. Oh god, can't sneak. Even if it's a matter of getting the thing, I can't sneak. No. But I just want to find some sweet clothes for this guy to wear. For fun. Not for any reason that is a reason, but just for fun. I'll gather up some... See, there he is. Now I've got a quest that I didn't really want to take right now, but it doesn't matter. So let's see. There's the belted tunic. That could be a fun thing to wear. Some merchant clothes. The merchant clothes would be actually fun. Do the whole... Oh, fuck. That was not what I intended to do. Did he take it back? No. Drop that. That was not what I meant to do. I'm sorry. Yeah, I totally lost my thread by accidentally picking that up. I ought to just be cat mode when I'm outside. So let's experiment with some looks here. Oh, no, we don't need that. Well, let's do the merchant clothes and the miner's boots. How's that look? Oh, fuck me. Okay. He kind of has a little bit of a Rashid look to him. Or Rasad. Pretty cat-like, but the problem is that those boots don't go up past his fucking rolled up pants. And I don't think the other ones do either, so let's check those out. Yeah, that's a little bit silly. The minor boots go up a little bit, but not very far. Let's hold on to those for a second. What about the clothes? Yeah, that's pretty peasant-ish. And then we also have the belted tunic. The belted tunic is alright, but it's always kind of freaked me out. Oh, I guess he doesn't have it on this one. He's got a little brooch, though. There usually is a little pouch and like some knives or something on his fucking person. So let's start with that. No, that. And then when the time comes, if we find better boots, we'll wear the merchant clothes. And it's not like we're carrying around a whole hell of a lot of like equipment, so we can pack on the bullshit. Let's do it by type. He can have all of the stamina shit. Okay. And let's do one more thing before we end this video here. So, the thing that gives you the most health is right here. It's called vegetable soup. 1 point of health per second for 720 seconds. That's 720 health, right? If you're in a dire situation, you can always run the fight and then wait till your health recharges and then do it again. We can only make one of these, so we'll do that right now. We have enough salt to probably salt up half of the meat, but the soup will always do 10 points of health as opposed to the meat, which does 5. So 10 points of health there, 10 points there, 10 points there. And it's kind of interesting because the only difference in the apple cabbage soup and the apple cabbage stew or whatever is 5 extra points of stamina. So you may as well hold on to the red apples instead. Let's just make a bunch of these. Nice. Okay. So we don't have any more soups to make, but you know, that's a pretty good start. I mean, that's a lot of like 10 life health potions. It basically, and it doesn't level up any of your skill, not alchemy skill or anything like that. I believe that there is a oh, you know what? I could have made a bunch of vegetable soup if I'd come down here and raided up all this shit. Let's do that right now. I believe that that there's with SPERG, which is a fucking stellar skill redo mod. It's like my favorite Skyrim mod. It redoes the skills and it does everything to a degree that's just like superb as compared to original Skyrim. So like for instance, your shouts become stronger if you've got higher speech skill, and conversely your speech skill is leveled up by shouts. So if you want to make a shout-based character, you can have your speech be higher, and that's amazing. It also lets you have like a weird animal companion. So yeah, I don't know. There's a ton of shit in SPERG which is improved vastly on the side of like interesting different kind of builds. But yeah, I'm just gonna pop this wolf really fast, and then we're gonna go ahead and end this video here. You guys have seen the intro. That's great. So, the Unlikely Dragonborn is a go-go. When we come back, we're gonna hurry up and do Bleak Falls Barrow, and then get to Whiterun. So, See you then.